I'm Dave.
And I'm Jocelyn, and this is our tiny house in Acme Bell, Mills River, North Carolina. We're more of outdoorsy kind of people, which is why we kind of moved towards tiny house living. It just kind of worked that way to really help us to get out and enjoy things more. It was kind of my dream for a while before I had met Dave, and I didn't think it would really become a reality. So I kind of thought about it, dreamt about it. I used to sit on our couch and kind of envision what the house would look like and what would be inside and what it would feel like to kind of have that space that was 100% our own. And I was mentioning at work how I always dreamed of living in a tiny house. And because of that, one of my coworkers said, "Oh, I know someone who builds tiny houses." And I said, "Awesome, that would be great." And we got in contact with him, started talking about plans, and then one thing led to the other, and we kind of ended up in this magical place. And it still kind of feels a little unreal at times. Oftentimes when we're sitting around looking around at the house, we have that moment. It feels like, oh, we did it. We're here. So
yeah, for sure. I've never thought of it. I always thought I'd live in a big house.
Yeah.
But so I just followed her dreams and that.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it, so I can't complain.
You're more into it sometimes than I think I am. Dave's like, this is it. This is the lifestyle for forever. So love it. Yeah. So we have 3 animals, 2 dogs and 1 cat, Madeline. We have a coonhound who's our big ham named Cooper. We have Moose, who's our little mutt. Yeah. And when we had smaller apartments before, they were always on top of us anyway. And a lot of people ask that. They're like, well, what are you going to do with your dogs? Cooper's pretty big. And we're like, they'll just be right here. Same thing as always, on our lap, or the bed is pretty much theirs anyway. Like our bed is their bed, so we never
sleep right next to us every night.
Yeah.
So. And this is our 32-foot gooseneck board and batten. Let's go check it out.
We're someday hoping to do a porch, but right now we have a nice little little patio here. We also have a great new shed that Dave helped us to build that keeps all of our bikes and all of our outdoor equipment and everything inside.
The shed is built under the gooseneck to hide it all completely, so it has 2 purposes, which I like the most about it.
Yeah, and then we also have my yoga little patio here where I teach yoga. And then because I love to garden, we have our nice garden here, my wonderful tomato bush that was once 7 feet tall. And then we have our nice little rocking chairs and of course pumpkins for the season. So come on inside, we'll check it out. Welcome to our home. We decided to have it be a nice, open, tall space for Dave.
Yeah, being 6'5", I really want a lot of headroom, and the 295 square foot house is perfect.
So we're here in the living room. It's where we do majority of our hanging out. Oftentimes there's Madeline, all the dogs.
Or a dog.
Or the dogs. All the dogs on the couch. We had it nice and long so we could have everyone here. We do also have storage space underneath the couch as well, so we keep things like seasonal items in there as well, sheets, anything else that we can kind of tuck inside. So it's a good store all for everything. We have a lot of little personal touches around our place, little details that we spend a lot of time working on and planning out. But one of our favorites actually is our beehive or wasp nest that Dave actually found.
Yeah, it was just hanging out on the side of the road, so we let it freeze and then we kept it hanging in the house.
Yeah, we both have matching bee tattoos, so it's kind of our little thing across the house. We have a lot of bee related pieces, but that's definitely one of our favorites. We also have our copper fan here, which is one of our favorites for practicality and for being cute too.
Heat pusher.
Yeah, it pushes all the air upstairs to our loft, so it keeps things nice and cool, and then also nice and warm in the winter time, and it's one of our favorite pieces as well. And we also recently just got our mini split, which we love, and that's right over the kitchen area, so it like pushes everything up through the hallway all the way to the loft as well.
So I figured since the front door is right here, I might as well build a little shoe rack. So this is where we keep all our shoes for work and everything. And then I play bass, and Jocelyn lets me keep my big old rig right here in the front room, which is pretty cool. So, yeah. And then we have our railroad tie mantle, which we love.
Yeah, this
so
was
much.
one of the first pieces that we got for the house, and it was being built, and I knew I really wanted a mantle that I could decorate for the seasons. So we decided to go antiquing, and we found this old piece of wood that was actually in a whiskey distillery in Tennessee. So right down the road, feels really special that way, and it's a little bit of history that we can keep with us. So I work at one of the largest houses in America, which is Biltmore, but then we live in one of the smallest, which has always been a huge joke that we tell people when I say where I work. It's been really enjoyable to take that decorating from Biltmore into our house, so it's been really wonderful.
Now for a brief message from our sponsor, Established Titles.
Hey Alexis, you know, ever since we bought the homestead, it's made me feel a bit regal, and I think you should call me Lord Parsons. Huh?
Yeah, I'll pass. But did you know it's a Scottish tradition to call landowners lairds, aka lords and ladies? Established Titles let you join the tradition with a fun, novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. Through them, you can buy a title pack giving you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Scotland, plus an official certificate and a family crest. Ooh. So Christian, good news! You can include your title, Lord Parsons, on a credit card or plane ticket. But the best part is that with every order, Established Titles will plant a tree through their work with global charities, One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future. Go to establishedtitles.com/tinyhouseexpedition to shop their Black Friday sale. Plus, get an additional 10% off any purchase with code tinyhouseexpedition and help support our channel.
So we have our space here for our dogs to eat and drink, which has worked out really nicely for us occasionally when I kick over the bowl and water goes everywhere, but then we all laugh about it and wipe it up. But we also have our record player here. We have more Christmas records that we play during the season.
She knew someone that was building houses, and he took a while to frame it. I helped him frame it, and then we put all the plywood on, and I don't know, just from there. And then I wired it. That was the best part, was wiring it. We didn't really come back as much because it was an hour drive to see it, and he was only working on it on weekends. We could only pop in every once in a while, which was kind of cool.
We got photos of the process of like each of those big milestones. We were also on a farm out there, so we got lots of photos of the sunsets and flowers that were growing in the field as the season changed. So it was really kind of special to have that nature aspect and having someone else build it, so we didn't have to stress as much, and it was more of an enjoyable process to see.
Yeah, it would have.
To see it.
We'd still be building it if we built it. If we
Yeah.
built it together,
Yeah.
for sure.
Definitely.
I'm very perfectionist, I guess is the word.
So our place cost $50,000, which was, we thought, a very decent price for the size and everything involved. We were a little nervous at first because we were trying to find funding for it, and it's kind of difficult to find funding for tiny houses a lot of the times, but we were told by a friend about Lightstream, and so they do kind of personal loans, and so we were able to get that, and that made it easier. And we've almost got it paid off, which is exciting. In 2 years we won't have any debt, no cars, no house, nothing.
Yeah.
So that was a big plan of ours, was to be able to have all of our debt paid off and to be able to travel. So we're almost there.
I mean, yeah, that pretty much is the main
Yeah,
focus of the tiny house,
focus,
was to travel.
traveling.
So.
Yeah. And another one of my favorite pieces is our vintage fridge. It's a nice little mini fridge, but it still holds a lot inside. It holds enough and all that we need, really. We go kind of grocery shopping every week, so we're not wasting any food.
Behind our fridge, or next to it, we store our table that our brother-in-law built for us that folds out, and it's been pretty handy.
Yeah, we use it for when Dave has game night. He'll put it there and they play Warhammer, or if we have a whole bunch of friends over, we'll set it up, play some games, eat dinner.
Here in the kitchen, we have our little mobile island. It works as our pantry, and it's also where we eat dinner sometimes, since getting the big table out can be a pain.
We also have probably a little smaller of a kitchen space than some tiny homes, but we're not huge cookers. We like to eat out a lot of the time, and our neighbor Ashley makes a lot of vegan meals, so we get to enjoy those a lot. But we really enjoy our cement countertops that we did together about a year ago, which we think turned out nicely. Took a lot of work. And we have our nice farm sink, which I've always really wanted and was really excited that we could find a smaller version for our tiny house. It's nice that we can have those things that are normally in a larger home in here as well. And this is our oven. It works out really nice. Dave's a big pizza fan, so we can still fit a good sized pizza in the oven. So we have our nice pot storage here. This is something that Dave came up with, a nice idea to hang things that doesn't take up too much space, but it's easy to grab off and cook right away. It's a little bit inspired by Cracker Barrel, which honestly, we just kind of liked that design style, and it's functional as well. This is our collection of glasses. These actually came from my parents probably in the 90s, and these are some antiques that Dave's mom gave us. I also like to collect mugs, so I have mugs from our different travels and a lot of other pieces. Like this was from an antique store, and this is another family heirloom that we got, which was like from New Year 1907, which we thought was a real fun piece to add to the house, and it picks up the light nicely when the sun hits it too. New Year 1907.
Jesus. I didn't realize it was that old.
Yeah,
it's
old. But all of these pieces that we have displayed throughout the house, we wanted them to look nice and presentable for people coming in, but at the same time, they're things that we use daily. All of our plates and everything are held here. This was actually an envelope holder that we got from World Market, but we thought it worked nice with our plates, and we wanted to display all of our stuff since a lot of our things are collectibles, but then we also use them at the same time, so functionality and also cute. Over here down the hallway, we have our bathroom over here. We have a nice sliding door that was built by our builder. It has little cutouts in the stairs so that Madeline can get underneath it, our cat, but our dogs cannot. So it works well when we close it, and that way the dogs don't get into Madeline's food. When we come right into the bathroom, we have our vanity, which has been really great for us. We love it. It's got a nice sliding door. We like to have it be sliding just like our sliding door on the outside of the bathroom. We also have our mirror in here so we can see, but we added a window so we'd have some nice light and a view to outside. Here we have our washer and dryer, which is a double washer and dryer, so it both dries and washes. It's been really great for us. We do laundry almost every single day because we go through it with Dave's mountain biking and climbing and all of our hobbies, but it's worked great. We haven't had too many issues with it. And then Dave's hats, since he's a big hat guy, go all the way up across our doorway. And it's nice. I'm pretty sure they're going to take over the house soon, but we're perfectly fine with it. There's lots of tall ceiling space in here so he can continue to take over. We have a lot of our storage stuff is higher for Dave because he is 6'5", so we put all of his stuff up here where he can reach and I technically cannot, making it easier for me to reach the lower down stuff. Same with his hats. Nowhere close to him, but it works with the tall ceiling, so. Another feature that I think is really special to our place is our galvanized tub that we have here. I wanted to make sure that I could still take baths since I'm a big water person. So we incorporated the galvanized tub, and then our shower is a rain shower that falls above. So we have a full 360 of curtains, and then everything else can fit behind that, and it's really great. Below here, we have our little cat door from Madeline so that we keep her litter box inside and hidden. It's got a door here so that our dogs can't get inside, but we can open it up to kind of clean out the litter box or feed her. It works out really nice that way, and it's a nice little hiding spot for her. And it's nice because the storage goes underneath our stairs, so we're using that storage space there for both functionality and then also for comfort for Madeline. The house that we have was built out in Marshall, North Carolina. The trailer was rolled onto the space and it was built right in that spot. So because of it being on a hill, the builder had to have one side kind of lifted up with
where the
cinder
front door's
blocks.
at was about 6 feet up and the back was about a foot off the ground.
It made me nervous every time it stormed that we were going to go down the hill, and it was terrifying. And we had been trying to get into Acne Bell for a while. We had our name on the wait list and we were like super excited about hopefully being here someday. And we got some quick news that we were going to be here shortly. And so we were super excited, but we were looking at our situation. We're like, we have no idea how we're going to get this house on the ground, how much it's going to cost, who's going to do it. And we reached out to a lot of different moving companies, and all of them said, if you put it on the ground, we'll move it. And we were like, no, we need someone to help us move it.
Yeah.
So we were able to get a really great guy, Jim, who's local to the area, and he was able to move our place. He took old rail ties and made like a little, what would you call it? A bridge, yeah. And he moved it slowly out till at the last there was like this much wheel on the ground, and he got it off and around a tree and down the driveway, and then I followed it all the way through the North Carolina windy roads and all the way to Acne Bell. And then once we were here, it was so easy to set up, and he got it all hooked up for us, and it was wonderful. So
we pay $575. It actually depends on where you're at. And then I guess trash is included, recycling. They mow our lawn, weed whack for us, which is pretty cool. I don't have to worry about that. That's nice.
Yeah, it's basically water. Yeah, so
included.
I think really the only thing that we have to pay for is like our own electric, internet, that kind of thing.
That's about it. The electric bill is normally about $50 to $75.
Which is amazing. Yeah. When we lived in apartments and other places like that, that was always actually kind of a concern. We're like, why do we have all of this? And then also this electric bill that's so high. And we were like sitting with blankets and like turning off all the power all the time. And here we don't have to worry about that. We can blast the heat, keep the lights on. And we even have a washer and dryer that we run pretty frequently, and it's still $50 to $75. So it's nice. Mm-hmm.
So this is the way upstairs, or loft. It's a little tight, but it fits perfectly for me. I don't mind. It's better than crawling up a ladder. Then over here we have some storage. So we use a lot of these wooden crates to keep our clothes in. Makes pretty good sense. It works better than building a big closet. We use our suitcases as a double purpose more than just going traveling. I use it to keep our TV up over here. Jocelyn uses one as her laptop case also. We got our reading lamps over here, which we use sometimes. Jocelyn uses hers more than I do. And then we have a bunch of storage all around the whole bed. There's all these pockets for our shoes and some other things. And then the bed actually lifts up and has full storage, where we keep our winter and fall clothes. We kind of switch out by the seasons.
Kind of this weird thing where when you see it on like TV and everything like that, you're like, there's no way that this place can actually be that magical, that people are really that sweet, but they are. It's kind of crazy, and every day we're a little in shock that people are so sweet, and we get to be here and be in this place, in this house, and it's awesome. It's amazing.
We were here for like a week, and I was already adding lights in someone's porch, so it's nice to be handy for the neighbors too. So that always works.
Definitely. I teach yoga, and when I moved to the community, was really excited about kind of incorporating it in, finding a way to communicate with my neighbors through kind of a healing aspect. So Dave came home one day with 2 pallets that we put together on the side of the house so that I could teach yoga on the weekends out beside the house. I've done it a few times, and it's a real nice thing to be able to do, to provide for the community, and it's a good way to connect, and happy to do it. And to have my own outdoor space too, to be able to teach, is wonderful. And I can do yoga inside the house as well. There's enough space, so it's nice to be able to have that option of indoor, outdoor. And a lot of times people think you can't do a whole bunch of activities inside a tiny house, but you really can do whatever you want to do in there as long as you build it that way. So
yes, I do like to play my bass in here quite loudly. It makes the neighbors happy. I play a game called Warhammer, and it takes this big table, takes up about half the house that we play about every Thursday. So we make it work, so it's fun. Yeah, we're still changing things to this day, because once you live in it, you don't know exactly what you need, and so
it's a fun process.
My family could care less. They were just like, yeah, I mean, if you guys want to live in a sardine can, go at it. So they're like, that'll be a good test of your relationship, and it was, and it's been great. So now my side, I mean, her mom thought it was weird. She has a lot of old antiques she wants to give away, and they're like, you don't have room for it. And it's like, maybe one day, sorry.
My mom often in the beginning was like, what am I going to do with all these family heirlooms? Where are they going to go? And I was like, I don't know. Like, maybe we'll put them in storage. Maybe we'll use them. Maybe we won't. But we do also have a few things throughout the house that are family heirlooms, like a clock and different pieces like that. So we still used all of like our favorite things that were family, but they just weren't the massive chest that no one touches in the dining room. And we just have smaller, more important things rather than larger things that don't get used, and that was kind of appealing to us.
So
it's a fun process to constantly seeing it evolve and see all the options and things we can add as life changes and all of that. So it's fun.
Thank you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Instagram for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.